Roach didn't back down.
At all. At all. And did you see the size difference in the ring? Obviously, Roach being, being the bigger man, but
Roach came up. Roach normally fights at 130. He came up to 135.
Hopefully, after I win, I can defend both. I want to unify, or, if we do a rematch, then we could do that.
Everybody's trying to protect that oath. Ain't nobody want to take no chances. Because they feel now if I take a chance, I lose. Ocho, my career. Bro, stop it.
ESPN analysts criticized Gervonta Tank Davis for rejecting a rematch with Lamont Roach, and it's clear they're not impressed. Fans were eager to see Davis prove himself again, but now there's growing concern that he might be avoiding a tough challenge. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp didn't hold back, accusing him of not behaving like a true champion. With the boxing world buzzing and fans demanding answers, Davis is feeling the pressure. Did he just dodge a fight that could have solidified his legacy?
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we take it?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July.
The Davis vs. Roach fight had fans excited, expecting Davis to dominate. But Roach put on a surprising performance, pushing Davis throughout the fight. The turning point came in the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee, claiming it was due to hair grease in his eyes. This explanation raised doubts and sparked controversy. The referee didn't count it as a knockdown, a decision that's been widely debated. ESPN analysts were quick to criticize Davis's performance and questioned his preparation and focus. Smith pointed out that distractions in boxing can cost a fighter, while Max Kellerman highlighted concerns about Davis's training.
I gotta stand down and give mad respect to Lamont Roach. Brother fought one hell of a fight. This was a damn close fight. Gervonta taking a knee should have been a knockdown. Either way, Roach has skills, fought his ass off, deserves nothing but respect. He earned the boxing world's attention tonight. He has mine. Thought he'd be too small. I was wrong.
Stephen A. Smith expressed concerns about Roach's size disadvantage, stating, "I think Roach is too small. I'm not questioning his skill, but he doesn't have the firepower to stop Tank." This sentiment was echoed by other experts, including former WBC interim champion Ryan Garcia, who believed Roach's skills were impressive, but ultimately not enough to win against Davis.
On 3 fights taking place Saturday night at the Barclays Center in New York City between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, Gary Russell versus Jose Valenzuela, and Sandor Martin versus Alberto Puello. Gervonta Davis uses knocks somebody out inside of 85 punches because he's clearly capable of that. But I just see this as being the kind of fight where he's going to have to run him down. He's going to have to walk him down, rather, and he's going to have to throw some punches before he ultimately catches him. And that's how I view it. So I'm going to go with more on this particular one. Next up,
Lamont Roach Jr. has made it clear he wants a rematch with Gervonta Davis after their controversial majority draw on March 1st. The fight ended with one judge scoring it in Davis's favor at 115-113. While the others had it even at 114-114. The controversy centered around the 9th round, where Davis took a knee, citing eye irritation. Roach believes this moment impacted the final outcome and has expressed his disappointment, saying, "I thought I won. Let's run it back." Davis has also shown interest in a rematch, hoping it'll happen by the end of May. Both fighters are eager to settle the score.
Division lower moves up and gives Tank Davis his toughest fight. I thought beating him on the inside, making him miss, putting offense behind defense after making him miss, being more active. Obviously, Tank's going to have the edge in power. Tank is going to have the edge in power strikes. I think ultimately the stats spoke to that. I don't think that this was a disaster. I think it'd be strong to call it a disaster. The fight was not great up front. The fight was not great in the middle, but it was very good. Not amazing, but definitely very good down the stretch. I think we can all agree with that.
Despite Roach calls for a rematch following their contentious draw, Davis has indicated that a rematch isn't on his immediate agenda. The fight ended with the controversial 9th round incident where Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach. Roach's team appealed, but the New York State Athletic Commission upheld the decision. Davis acknowledged Roach's performance, but suggested a rematch isn't his priority. Hinting at other possible matchups, Roach remains determined to secure a rematch, convinced there's unfinished business between them.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might say it.
The controversy surrounding Davis versus Roach continues to escalate as the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, has launched a review of the fight. A technical delay initially postponed a review of the pivotal 9th round incident where Davis took a knee. Many argue this should have been ruled a knockdown in Roach's favor, which could have changed the fight's outcome.
Even without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to bank the rounds. I'm just a little frustrated with the scorecards. I thought I should have won.
The boxing community and fans are vocal in their reactions to the fight's outcome, with many believing Roach deserved the victory. Social media platforms buzzed with debates with hashtags like Roach Robbed trending. Prominent figures in boxing, including Floyd Mayweather and Shakur Stevenson, weighed in, calling for a rematch. Roach, dissatisfied with the draw, expressed his belief that he won the fight, saying, "I went toe-to-toe with one of the best. I proved I belong at 135. I want that rematch."
I mean, he didn't fall down on himself. The wind didn't push him and made him fall on his knees. I had to boom, hit him with that right hook, hit him with that left hook, and made him fall, hit him with that body shot, pow. I don't know, but that wasn't an official knockdown. Me, I feel like that should have been an official knockdown, but hey, I'm not a professional ref. I don't even know the rules for real. I just know, boom, don't hit nobody in the back of the head, don't hit nobody, to keep your hands up at all times, and no low blow shots. That's all I know. But y'all, if y'all going to anticipate, they need to have a rematch. Should they have a rematch, yes or no? Y'all let me know. Should they have a rematch, yes or no? Do y'all actually even want to see the rematch, yes or no? Because me, I want to see the rematch. I need to see a rematch because, bro, this was too good of a fight for it to be a draw. Like, they should have, that same night, all right, it's a draw. We're going for 3 more rounds. 3 rounds, 1-minute rounds. Boom, we got to settle this. And whoever wins, that's win.
Davis has revealed plans to step away from boxing temporarily to prioritize his mental health and personal growth. The undefeated WBA lightweight champion shared that boxing has instilled an aggressive mindset in him, but he now seeks balance, especially for the sake of his daughters. Davis emphasized his desire to embrace therapy and transform emotionally, moving beyond the warrior mentality. This decision represents a significant shift in his life, as he aims to set an example for his children and focus on his personal development.
I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
The majority draw between Davis and Roach has sparked significant controversy, especially due to the 9th round incident where Davis took a knee. Many believe this should have been ruled a knockdown, which could have changed the final decision. The New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing the situation after technical difficulties delayed an immediate assessment during the match.
But I must say, thought enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on?
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can, like, get disqualified for all that. Or, like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Mike Tyson expressed admiration for Davis's talent, noting that with the right decisions, Davis could achieve legendary status. Tyson recognized Davis's potential but stressed the importance of making wise choices both in and out of the ring, offering mentorship and advice that could shape Davis's future.
I like to hit the face.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person. So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like...
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole package.
George Kambosos Jr. was critical of Davis after the controversial draw with Roach. Kambosos praised Roach's performance, highlighting his skill and resilience in challenging Davis. The fight's controversy, especially in the 9th round when Davis took a knee, led many in the boxing world to question Davis's ability to compete against top fighters.
What did you make of that fight on the weekend? What did you make of the controversy in that one?
Look, I had just finished my recovery session, so I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when obviously Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring. And again, we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to, go to your corner and get your face wiped. So, yeah, if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's, unfortunate, but that's the fight game. Hopefully they'll do it again and he gets paid, what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily...
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the count. We've seen Miguel Cotto, take a knee, obviously into his corner, be put on the count.
Despite the controversy, Davis seems more determined than ever, with reports indicating he has reconsidered his retirement plans and is now focused on a rematch with Roach. Many fans and analysts have noticed a shift in Davis's attitude as he appears ready to prove himself and reclaim his dominance in the ring.
Looks like Tank was not playing about this rematch, man. He's looking to probably get back in the ring with Roach by the end of May. And as far as that retirement stuff, looks like that's out the window as well.
Course of your plans for your future?
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now, for sure.
But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. As much as, we hate the fact that he had a draw, I think this was the best thing for Tank. You could just kind of see, even in the press conferences and everything like that, he was kind of forcing himself to be interested. And I only know one person that can bring his interest back. Calvin is the key, man. Calvin has known Tank since he was a child. Nobody knows Tank more than Cal, man. He's the only person that I believe that can bring the best out of Tank. But what do y'all think, man? What do you think Tank needs to do differently in his next fight so he can get back to doing stuff like this, man, at the end of his fights? Comment.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult made a bold prediction about the rematch, claiming that Roach will secure a knockout victory. He believes Roach, having already pushed Davis in their first fight, will come into the rematch with improved preparation and determination. Showbiz predicts that Roach will aim for a definitive knockout, ensuring a clear victory this time.
The grease in your hair tonight, Tank, that is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bruh, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened.
In the 9th round, Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach, but the referee did not rule it a knockdown. The New York State Athletic Commission later acknowledged that technical issues delayed their review of the incident. This decision has intensified discussions about the fight's outcome, with many believing that a knockdown ruling could have impacted the scorecards.
To override his decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly. but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury. Which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown, all right?
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a...
Some skeptics argue that the referee's decision not to count the knee as a knockdown unfairly benefited Davis. However, others believe the referee acted in the best interest of Davis's safety, given the eye irritation he claimed to be experiencing. It remains difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the decision as the bout continued for several rounds after the non-call.
That and the other, like it all kind of felt like an afterthought. And then the fight happens, and truth be told, like the fight wasn't the best fight of all time. It was fine. It wasn't your vintage Tank Davis fight. There wasn't a knockout. There wasn't a knockdown scored by him. It was just sort of fine. If that was your first time watching Tank, you're probably like, okay, yeah, sort of, I get it. But it kind of speaks to his demeanor going into the fight. Like it just felt a little bit underwhelming. And then we get to the 9th round, and then it's complete madness, because in the 9th round, you probably have heard by now, the fight is moving along, and it is important to note that Lamont Roach lands a jab or two, and where we want to start the clock is up to debate, but he certainly lands a punch. And then seconds after that punch lands, that jab lands, all of a sudden Tank Davis takes a knee. He quickly takes a knee, and there it is right there. 9th round, 217. He is taking a knee, and he's looking to his corner. And he also, ever so briefly, it appears as though he's almost trying to call time. Let me tell you, in case you don't know, in boxing, you take a knee, that's considered a knockdown. You cannot call time. And you know what you also can't do? You also can't go to your corner mid-round and ask them to wipe your face. Ask them to do anything. You can't get a swig of water. You can't do this. You cannot do that. But that all happened. And so the referee for this fight is a legendary referee. Steve Willis, you have probably seen him in GIFs. He's got that kind of like big-eyed look. You've definitely seen him. He's a veteran of the fight game. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm not suggesting he was in on it. But there was certainly a fumbling.
Gilberto Mendoza caused a stir with a statement about the Davis-Roach fight, asserting that taking a knee without a punch should be considered a knockdown. His remarks have added fuel to the debate, with fans and analysts questioning whether the fight should be reviewed or even overturned. MMA journalist Ariel Helwani also weighed in, describing the fight as decent but highlighting the controversy over the 9th round knee, which many believe should have been ruled a knockdown. What do you think about the controversy surrounding the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. fight? Should Davis grant Roach an immediate rematch, or did he do enough to win? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.